It's your girl Shannon Marie, and I'm back with another hair video. Today I'm going to be doing box braids, and I'm going to show you a method using the crochet needle. It's just an easier method to go ahead and tuck the client's real hair out the way when you want to put color on the client's hair fully and you don't want to see the client's real hair. Please subscribe to flynubianqueen.com. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, queens, and share, like. And today it's going to be an easy method. You can also do this method with rubber bands as well, but don't forget to subscribe, share, and like all that good stuff. Let's get started. Yes, queens. Okay, so first, I already started. So what I'm going to do is, you see how I have the section ported off and I plaited it? I'm going to take that crochet needle like I'm doing here, and I'm going to stick it through, and then I'm going to take a piece of the hair, and you have to make sure the hook is closed, just like I'm doing here. And then you see how that part kind of already has the braid, and then I'm going to show you how to basically just put the hair on first, and then I'll show you how I plait it. So I'm sticking the crochet needle in. It doesn't hurt because you don't want to braid that braid too tight. You want to just braid it kind of loosely. Or if just imagine if you had a rubber band on it, you will still stick it through the same spot that I'm sticking it through. And if you want me to show you the method with the rubber bands, just let me know in the description below, or in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to share a video with the rubber bands. But you just basically do what I'm doing here. You stick the crochet needle through, and then you pull the hair through. It's an easier method also for shorter hair if you have to use the rubber band. That way you don't really have to strain your fingers. Because sometimes when the hair is short and you want to strain your fingers, you know, it does damage to the fingers, and of course you're supposed to do your finger and hand exercises. But this is a method that's also for shorter hair. So it's for shorter hair, and it can cover your real hair. And I'm just going to take this piece, about that much, and I'm going to use that middle as the middle piece of my 3 pieces that I'm going to have total. And I'm going to just plait it just like this. And I also have a method on how to actually apply the plait onto the client's hair. If you want to watch that video, that's on flynubianqueens.com. And also subscribe to Fly Nubian Hair as well. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, guys. And if you're about that money flow, subscribe to Fly Nubian Money. And also, if you want to learn a little bit more about business, go ahead and subscribe to Fly Nubian Business, guys. And you're going to just make sure you keep a tight, firm grip on that plait. That way it doesn't come down. And you just want to make it tight, because the tighter it is, the longer it stays. But you just have to remember how tight when you get to those edges to kind of loosen up. But hey, just braid tight. And then you want to make sure you braid all the way down to the end as well. And I like to braid it all the way down to the end. Like I said in a different video, when you dip it in that hot water, it'll go ahead and it'll seal those ends so that it doesn't unravel. And it's just, you braid it all the way to the end. This looks more neat. It's like a neat, clean look, you know. And it just kind of gives the client a nice look. Who wants raggedy ends, you know? And then I'm just braiding it all the way down to the end. I'm almost finished braiding this braid to the end, guys. And then I'm going to show you how to apply another braid. You're going to take a piece of the hair. You're going to use that middle piece for the 3rd piece, and you're going to just apply it just like that. You want to make sure you're detangling the hair while you're also braiding the hair as well. but you just continue to braid the hair all the way down to the end. And make sure you braid it all the way down to the end, because once it's time to go ahead and dip the hair in the hot water, it'll go ahead and it'll lock in that braid. And then I'm going to braid all the way down to the end, guys. And it's so important to braid all the way down to the end, just so that it seals and locks that braid when you dip it in the hot water in the end. Please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queens. Also subscribe to Fly Nubian Hair. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Share, like, and share, and like again. And we're going to braid it all the way down to the end. This client's hair braids is actually pretty long, but the longer the braids are, the longer it usually takes to do the client's hair. So it really just depends on how long the client wants, with the estimate time on how long it'll be for you to tell them. But depending on the size, I typically use, starting off 6 packs, depending on the size, but 6 and more. So you already start your client off by telling them to bring 6 packs of hair. The pre-stretched hair is better to use, I feel like, because it already gives you that look that you're wanting for in the end, instead of having to stretch the hair out yourself and actually make that end of your hair. But if you need me to show you the best kind of hair to use, just let me know, and I'll just make a video with just a different type of hair that I feel like is a better choice, because it doesn't tangle, and gives it that nice clean look. But once again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plait that plait all the way to the end. I already have the hair crocheted into that plait, so it just makes it easier for me to go ahead and plait. I don't have to blend in the regular hair, because it's pretty much is hidden with the braiding hair. And then we're off to the next side. Do a little pin up right there. And then you see how I'm sticking that crochet needle in there, just to show you again. And don't forget to make sure that the crochet needle is closed, so that you won't pull the client's hair, because it kind of hurts when it's open. It'll yank some of the hair out. So just be careful with that. And you see how I'm doing it there. You stick the crochet through, and then you loop the hair in, make sure it's closed, and pull it right on through. And that's just your middle piece for your plait, your braid, because you use 3 pieces, and then when you put the hair on, that's considered your middle piece. You also want to make sure when you're doing your client's hair with any kind of protective styles as far as braids, that you make sure you oil the scalp. I do have different kind of oils, depending on, you have to ask your client if they just want like a shine mist that's going to help the scalp, or growing oil, because sometimes I don't put the growing oil on the first time, because you don't want the hair to grow too fast, because the client wants to actually keep the hair in as long as they can. And if you put that growing oil in and it grows, then they'll have new growth, and it'll just get old faster. But you just do what I'm doing here. You see how I use that middle piece as the middle piece, basically, as is my 3 plaits, 3 parts. So now all I'm doing is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plait it all the way down while I tuck the client's real hair with the braiding hair. And then I'm just going to braid it all the way down to the end. And you pretty much just do this method throughout the rest of the head, but I'm going to just show you guys some more Just because it's always good to watch and see, because sometimes people are better with hands on, but I just believe watching and seeing. And then this method is pretty easy, that once you look at the method a few times, you see how you can't see any of the hair. And don't forget, guys, it is so important to braid it all the way down to the end, so when we dip it in that hot water, it'll seal and lock in that braid. And please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen. Also subscribe to Fly Nubian Hair. You know what I'm saying? For more hair videos. And Fly Nubian Queen has some amazing queens that I think you guys will love. Our queens are just lovely ladies. And I'm gonna braid it all the way down to the end, and I'm done, and off to the next one. And you pretty much do the same thing. You see how I crochet the hair already there, kind of tuck in the real hair, behind the braiding hair, just like that. And then you're gonna take that piece and make sure it's nice and tight, and you're gonna plait away, just like I'm doing here. Over and under, over and under. Hey guys, I know everybody love money, so if you're about your money flow, go ahead and also subscribe to Fly Nubian Money. And if you want to learn more about business, subscribe to Fly Nubian Business as well. But we're going to continue with this method, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to plait it all the way down to the end. I said, because if you don't, then your braids will unravel and you will not have a happy client, and you will have to be fixing someone's hair. That way, if you braid all the way to the end, when you dip that hot water, seal, lock, baby, seal and lock. And sometimes with the colored hair, even though it's not like the client's real hair, it still will tangle more because it still is chemical. It will have chemicals in it. I'm sorry, like they dyed the hair, so it tangles more than the black hair. So all you have to do when it tangles is kind of comb it out, pull it apart, but use some type of edge control or gel and just put it on your fingers, and it kind of helps slides the hair, and it kind of makes the smoothing process a little bit easier and not as rough. But don't forget, ladies and maybe some gents, just go ahead and braid it all the way down to the end. That's so important. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Fly Nubian Queen, Fly Nubian Hair. You know, subscribe, like twice if you can. If you got a couple pages, like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And then I'm using that middle piece as my third piece, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply the plait just like this. All right, and I'm going to show you guys again. So you see I'm sticking the crochet needle through, bring the weave through. I split up a little bit, guys, just so, because I know you guys don't want to watch the full 4 hours with me. So I'm going to do that again. I'm going to take the crochet needle and I'm going to stick it through. Just like that. Put the hair on there, make sure the hook's closed, and pull it through. Just like I did there. And I'm going to pretty much do this method throughout the rest of the head. I'm going to stick the crochet needle through so that it can be that third piece. And just look at how I stick the crochet needle through. And then I put the the braiding hair onto the hook, pull the braiding hair through, and voila. And I'm pretty much doing this method all around the head. And also, if you want some fly Nubian gear, just go ahead and shop at fnq.com for fly Nubian gear. We have shirts, mugs, and they're actually pretty nice, guys. Check us out. And I'm just basically crocheting the other side. I know you can't see it, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fast forward it. And here's the front. We're pulling the crochet needle through, hook the hair on, and pull the hair through. And you're gonna do that method throughout the rest of the head. Right now, I had a little trouble with the hair. It was tangled up, so I'm detangling the hair right now. And with, like I said, with that color hair, it just usually tangles more. But that's why I like to use the pre-stretched hair when it's colored, because it's already basically stretched out for you, and it's not as it doesn't tangle as much. But you go ahead and you stick that hair through after you pull that crochet needle through, just like this. And I'm actually detangling the hair again, but I'm just using a wide tooth comb to detangle it. So I'm basically combing it out like if it was just my head. I'm just holding it and I'm combing it out. Sometimes people just take the scissors and they'll cut the hair a little bit, but I like to just use the comb. And then you're gonna pin that hair back just so that's out the way. And we're going to use that piece as the middle piece, and we're going to go ahead and apply the plait on just like this. Tuck and roll, guys. Tuck and roll. And you just make sure you braid nice and tight so that the braid lasts as long. You don't want it to, you want it to at least last 3 to 6 weeks. That's at the most. Well, I mean the least. If it lasts longer than that, then yeah, you know, that's fine. But you want to at least get that amount of wear out of it, because you don't want to get this protective style and then have to take it down fast, because it takes a long time to put in. So you want to be able to keep it in as long as you can. So with that being said, you have to braid it a little bit tighter, but just make sure you're a little looser on your edges, because who doesn't want to slay those edges? Who doesn't want those edges, ladies? Edges, edges, edges. Yes, queens, let's get it. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna plait that all the way down to the end. And I'll show you how I do my baby hair at the end as well. I do brush it out. Just make sure you leave it out. I'm just telling you this part because I'm in the front of the hair. Whenever you do it, just leave some of that baby hair out, because, you know, even if you don't do a big swoop, just leave the baby hair out, and then you can just brush it back. And because you want it to be easy to brush down, you don't want it to be stuck in that braid, and you want to be able, that's why I say before you plait it in, just to go ahead and brush it out. That way, if the person doesn't want baby hair, you can either brush it back and do that, but the baby hair wouldn't necessarily be braided in, it'll just be brushed back, and you may have to apply just a little bit edge control daily just to touch up those edges. But if you use that 48-hour edge control that I use with that foam and tie it down, you will be fine at least 3 days, and you'll only have to touch up those edges every 3 days. So all you have to do is wake up and do edges. Like, how easy is that, guys? Waking up just doing edges. Woo-wee. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to braid all the way down to the end. That plait, that cornrow, wherever you want to call it, but I call it a plait because it's not attached to the head. I mean, well, it's attached to the head, but it's not on the scalp, I should say. And you're gonna braid it all the way down to the end. How important is it, guys? It's so important to braid to the end because it locks and it seals that end. Lock and seal, lock and seal. Please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queens. Also, subscribe to Fly Nubian Hair. Subscribe, guys. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Share the video, you know, subscribe, help us out, you know. But until then, we're gonna braid this plait all the way to the end. And we're done with that one. Please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queen. Also Fly Nubian Hair for more hair videos and just for more amazing queens on that Fly Nubian Queen. We have some amazing queens you should check out. But if you're into the hair and you want to learn more about the hair, go ahead and subscribe to Fly Nubian Hair. Subscribe, like, share, and subscribe again, y'all. And keep that tight grip like how I'm doing, and go ahead and did you see her face? I'm sorry, didn't mean that. I'm sorry for pulling the hair kind of tight, but anyways, you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna plait all the way down to the end. And it's so important to braid to the end because you lock and seal that plait. That box braid, that cornrow, whatever you guys call it nowadays. And then you're gonna braid it all the way down to the end, just preparing it to dip in that hot water, guys. Also, I know everybody likes money, so go ahead and subscribe to Fly Nubian Money for more money tips. And if you're looking into open up a business or just want to learn more about business, subscribe to Fly Nubian Business as well. And you see how I'm doing here. I'm just going to pretty much do the same method to the rest of the head. And then I'm going to show you guys how I do that baby hair and how it's laying down in the end. So if you want to fast forward, you can, because I know, you know, box braids just take a little longer. I really did trim this video down as short as I could. And I happened to go ahead and squeeze it all in within 30 minutes. But hey, we're going to make this work, guys. And you're going to braid it all the way down to the end once again, so that you can lock and seal those ends. And I always want you guys to do now is go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet to Fly Nubian Hair, and also subscribe to Fly Nubian Queens for more amazing queens. And hey guys, I'm on the last one, so I'm going to show you this method on how to apply the plait on one last time. You just make sure you keep a nice firm tight grip. And tuck and roll, tuck and roll. No, you just curly, just tuck and roll the real hair to the back, and you had it with the braiding hair, just like I'm doing here. And don't forget to braid all the way down to the end. And just one more time for me, guys, go ahead and please subscribe to Fly Nubian Queens and also Fly Nubian Hair. Subscribe, like, share if you want, and subscribe. You know, why not? Subscribe and just watch the beautiful queens do their thing. I know you see, probably look at those edges like, oh no, what is she doing? I leave those out because, like I said, I don't want to stress the client's edges out. I don't want them to lose any edges or anything, so I pretty much leave the edges out because it's edges, and who doesn't want their edges on fleek? And I'll show you how to make them on fleek, where someone's like, oh my god, girl, look at those edges. No, just kidding, but just follow me and you'll see how to keep those edges laid down for at least 48 hours. But don't forget to braid all the way down to the end before you worry about those edges. Alright, and I'm going to be using foam just to go ahead and take away the frizz. So I'll apply it to each section of the box braids just like I'm doing here. Apply the foam. That's Cream of Nature foam. It smells so great, guys. When I tell you it smells good, it smells good. Like, oh my god, you have to get you some. And I just pretty much put it throughout each section of the plaits because I like to go ahead and get it as clean as possible without the frizz. And the foam helps basically boat it down and take the frizz away, and before I actually dip it in the hot water. And then I'm just going to take that foam and I'm going to put it on the edges that I pushed down. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the edges on fleek. It's fleek time, y'all. Edges. Let's get it. And you see how I'm doing my fingers. I'm basically just brushing it over. And you're going to use that red tail comb to make the lines as smooth as possible. But until then, all I'm basically doing is applying that edge control, that 48-hour edge control onto the client's hair, and I'm taking my finger and I'm smoothing those edges out just like I'm doing here. And her edges is going to be on fleek, of course, because Shanna Marie done them. And I'm just taking the comb. It's always easy to use the comb because the hair doesn't stick to the comb. Sometimes when you're doing the edges and say you use your finger, the hair does stick to the finger and it actually makes the edges to lift. So I say use the comb to make that nice clean line, and just so that the hair doesn't stick to your finger. I'm sorry guys that I'm in the way and you can't see me doing the edges, but I do want to show you the last method that I do after I do the edges. So I just want to show you what I do to keep them nice and flat. And I'm basically just taking my edge brush and the comb and the red tail comb. I'm using the brush to smooth it out, using the comb to make it look like neat, and then I'm using the end of it to make those lines, those loops smooth. Like you see how I'm doing there? And you see how I'm using the comb to dab on the edges? That's just so that your finger, you can do that with your finger if you wet it. And then you just go ahead and apply that edge control after you already molded it. And then you're going to take a wrap and you're going to apply it to the edges like that while you dip the ends in hot water. You just keep that on there. And then after you dip the ends in hot water, then the edges is ready. And it's your girl, Shanna Marie. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff, guys. And I'm out. Peace.